Hey everybody, welcome back to another Random Sam Epic Mom. Today we're going to be doing wands. Now we just did a Harry Potter marathon, and one of them we did wands while we watched the movie. Now my kids mostly use markers and such, but you can use paint. And I'm going to show you a couple different ways to make some, fun wands. Now, first one we're going to do is one of these. This is a little heart shape. There's lots of things that you can do to really kind of make it fun. We will be using hot glue, so let me get this started heating up. Alright, so while that heats up, we're going to be painting. Now, we have this one in kind of a stop sign shape. We have it in a star. We're going to do the heart right now. Now, for this one, we're going to do two colors. Pink on the main part of it. Help if I shake it up. Sometimes if these paints have been sitting for a while, the color kind of separates from the oil, so shake so you don't make my mistake. Now, as I said, my son used the stop sign one to with markers, and he thought that was a lot of fun. This one, we're going to do a couple things too. Now you can paint all of this just one color, whatever you want to do, guys. Again, most of these craft ideas are all about just having some fun. Now this one, I did a lot of times with my daughters, and even with my older son, he'd do the star-shaped ones. And this is always fun because, whether it was Halloween or just playing pretend outside and such, they loved having magic wands. So as I said, we're not going to overly do it. The pink we're just doing on the heart sides. Rinse that off in just a minute. Welcome to my chaos. I thought I had everything ready, apparently not. Now this is a metallic silver. Luckily, I really like these little sponge ones because they spread so much easier. Now, some of this paint might go over the edges, which is why we haven't put the pink up yet. But I like doing the two-tone because it kind of sets it off a little bit more. as you can see, I didn't have to use a lot of paint. As you can see, it's very nice, it's very basic. Not a lot to do. We're gonna let that dry right now, because we're gonna add more to it. If you wanna just do very basic, just doing some paint is really great. Getting a Sharpie then and doing little decorative stuff on it or writing their name, also very cool. I found that kids like that. Now, I have a package here of dowels. Lots of different sizes, square, round, all that. And we're gonna be doing, and even thicker dowels. We're gonna be showing a couple different ways that you can do these wands. First one, again, painting wand. Now this one, a silver or gold, depending on which color you choose to do. I like doing a base color like this because it'll kind of go with everything. Also makes it so that it doesn't take as long to dry, and I like adding other little touches to it. And very little paint, and it gets the job done. Now what we're going to do next is, again, small amount of paint, guys. Dries super quick. Now with our heart-shaped one, we're going to do a little bit extra. I get these little jewel tone little application ones, and here just grabbing a couple different things. The kids have asked me to put these on both sides, so we're gonna pick out what we want each side. Again, this is just some fun stuff you guys can do with everything. Other problem is that when I put it in something like this, it's more of a pain to get everything out. Alright, let's see, we got... Now again, seal tight containers, guys. Okay, so what we're gonna do, now that I've started making a mess elsewhere, now you can either put a dot right where you want it on there. I prefer to do it on the actual little thing. That way you don't put too much on it and it's easier to just press it where you want. Now this is a very cheapy hot glue gun. I do recommend, if you guys have the money, get something a little bit higher quality, because otherwise these make a mess. But for me this works because I got so many kids, and yeah. Again, when doing something like this, especially if you're doing it with kids, if I'm doing it by myself, I usually do things in patterns or such. But with my kids, I just let them go crazy and pick where they want everything. Now, again, this is just my pattern of doing things. You might want to do something different. Also, the excess little strands of the hot glue, you'll want to clean up later, but cute little pattern. But since I did say I'd get the other side too, I gotta actually do that. As I said, patterns are really great. I do enjoy doing this with my kids usually. So, as you can see, very cute. Still needs to be cleaned up with hot glue, so we'll let that cool down a little though. And that's our first one. Now this next one that we already painted silver, we're gonna do something a little bit different. Now, I don't know about you guys, what you like to do or not, but I really like this 18 gauge jewelry wire and such that comes in different colors. It's cheap and I can get it easily, so. Alright, so we're doing two tones. This is kind of a purplish blue and then a bright blue. Now, I have not done it yet, but I'm using one of my wood carving knives. Bad choice, you know, to do this right now, but again, guys, when you're done using your tools, please put them up, because if you don't, you have chaos like what I got right now. Alright, so what I'm doing is I'm taking these pieces and shoving them in a little hole that I just made. Just twirling it around. Looks very nice. We can do just this, or if we want, we can add this one to kind of crisscross over it. Again, this is just the opposite direction. Very cute, very symmetrical. I really like the look of it. Now, next thing you do not have to do, but I like to do, is I don't like these jumping up and coming back out at me. So I do these little glass gems. And these ones are a little bit wider than normally what I would use, because they're kind of big right there, so maybe I won't use this one. But I can use right now I'm using this clear hot glue again, but I could use, there's some hot glue sticks that are kind of sparkly and such, and they're really great for projects like this. But for right now, I'm just going to use the clear glue to kind of make a bump at the end. And I can smooth this out with my fingers if I want to burn them, or I can get some sandpaper and smooth it out later. But it also keeps the metal right where it's supposed to be. Now again, guys, these are very cheap, easy to do. If I can get the hot glue to work. There we go. Again, guys, you do not have to do what I'm doing. Using the hot glue, I can kind of make a little bubble on the end, so it's more rounded. Guys, if you get a chance, please do not use these cheapy hot glue guns. Alright. Pretty nice, very simple. We're going to count that as a success. Now, this next one that we're going to do is going to be with clay. And then this one we're using power tools, regular dowel. So, I'm going to pause for a second and let me get the next material. Now, using modeling clay, on this, we're using the dowel as kind of our support. But here's the thing, guys. You can do this any color you want to. I am going to do it in a white color clay. Oh, my hands are so dirty. Maybe not. Just any type of clay. The white one I'll probably like paint. But with this type of wand making, it is, well, I'll probably use more colors. I'm going to paint over this, but I'd recommend normally some air dry clay, because it, will stand. But these are more for decoration. And one nice thing is that once you get done molding the clay to how you want the wand to look, you can add in a lot of detail like ruins or again, what I'm using right here is just really cheap clay that I got from the dollar store. Now what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to make this more, instead of it being just all one size, I want it to spear it off so it gets more pointy at the end and kind of has a hand grip. Now, if any of you have kids that play with Play-Doh, a lot of times they'll have, you know, some sort of those little Play-Doh tools. Those will work just as well on stuff like this. Now, another reason why we're going to paint over this when we're done is that this modeling clay will not dry out. At least not for a very long time, and it can be remolded. And the paint kind of helps set it a little bit. You know, we always talk about, you know, when am I going to use these skills that you have when you're a kid? You never know. Now again, some of the other things that we can do, again, right after we paint it, we will be able to put, like I said, wires on it to kind of mold it into this. Now I do like using this for another reason, is because a lot of times you'll buy something like a wand from like the toy section or something, and it's very unilateral, it's very, you know, mass produced. I mean, everything's going to be shaped the same way. And this, with the different lumps and such, for me putting it in there, looks almost like, like it's from like a real tree branch or something. Alright, and again, lots of, you know, whatever color stones you want to do, whatever. Again, just to keep it easy, I'm going to use my silver again. Mostly just because I don't want to get more paint out. I'm lazy. And like I said, this type of clay, if you're doing air dry clay, it will dry and, you know, harden. But this type of clay, it's always easy to smush it up easier. So this will be more of a display one than an actual play one. And again, guys, a little bit of paint goes a long way on stuff like this. If you haven't figured out, I'm so gonna have to wash this table down. Like I said, I like the little imperfections. Also, with using the different colors of the clay, some of it will come through a little bit easier. So I don't know if you can tell just looking at it, but it gets a little bit darker in the silver tone as you get further down on it. So now we could do again what we did with this one and just wrap the metal wire around it. But I don't want to. And I guess I unplugged this a little too soon, because I am going to need my hot glue gun a little bit more. As this dries, you'll see little cracks in it, especially the darker areas. So it is going to look very much tree lined. So that's kind of a cool side effect of that. You guys are going to be doing crafts. Remember, it's okay to get your hands dirty. Now this actually ended up being a good size for this base with added clay. Let that heat up a little bit more. Now, my kids like to do, when they're making the wands and such, whether it's wood, clay, or anything like this, they like to put a little stone on each end. Now, I could put this little green stone right here on the tip. It would probably fit, but I think that's a little overkill, and it kind of gets a little heavy. I like putting a stone at the base, because, well, honey, it's drying. The base you're holding on to, so it's less likely that it'll come off for whatever reason. It's up. While that's heating up, we can use some of our other again, lots of different colors, guys. Lots of fun to do it. Little circular one, and this can just be pressed into the clay. So it looks as if it's been, you know, emblazed in there. And that's just one of the cool things that you can do. I mean, there's lots of other little designs you can have. I mean, really, this is all your imagination. I mean, you can have really cool, like, Harry Potter type ones. Where it's very sleek and such, or this can be fun. Again, and you guys can put whatever you want on this stuff. It really is all about personal preference. Mostly I'm just having some fun. Now, another nice thing with clay is that you don't even have to have metal. You can, you know, use a pencil or something and use a different color paint to put in the curvings of it. So again, just little things like that. We might add something later on. But for right now, that is pretty much good. This is what we're going to count as a win. Now, I can't show you everything right here, because it's just not possible. So I took this very, you know, basic dowel, and using wood cutting tools, or a wood cutting knife, I've kind of gone down like this. My husband made fun of me though, so I'm gonna go out to our workshop and I'm gonna use like a sander and such to kind of move it down, and we're gonna be using wood burning to do this. I'm also, one of the things that I want to show everyone is I can use a screwdriver, drill, whatever. What I'm going to do is I'm going to carve in this bottom part a little bit more so that a rock can be put right there. Again, any type of stone that I want to do. And it can be just this fake little stones that I carry, or it can be all sorts of other things. But we'll get back after I've done this. Chances are before I paint it or use a wood stain on it, I will probably do some wood burning to carve in some symbols or a pattern or something on it to try and make it look cool. So that stuff, maybe the wood burning you'll get to see, but I'm gonna go out to the shop to do this. So hopefully this is giving you guys some ideas. And again, if you don't have a specific craft area set up, I do recommend old sheets, old towels, just basic newspaper or paper towels, something to lay down to protect your finish areas. Because you don't want to ruin a dining table or something. So again, we're going to pause and then get back to it. So far, again, we've got our one that's going to be on display. We've got a very basic one and kid's little one. So again, lots of different ways to do it. I'm going to stop pouring right here and come back when I've got this little work done. Okay, so we've done the first 3 and I showed you guys 4. I have used my wood cutting stuff to do this. I'm not good at wood cutting or wood carving. I'm just learning. So that's why it looks like crap. But now I have come in to use my husband's power tools. For this, I'm not going to do a bunch of stuff. I just don't want to. So what I'm going to do is just use the sander. God help us all, chicks using the power tools. So, just did the sander. If you wanna, it's got this part, you know, the pointer, you know, but this is the base where you're gonna hold it. So I've tried to keep this pretty much done. I've kind of rounded the edges. But what we're gonna do now is I'm using my husband's Dremel, and let me see. We're just gonna do this one.
Yeah. I also have more stones if you'd like.
Yeah, because this one's kind of weird. It'll cut into the hand. You got it? Something.
Okay, well, I have a lot of stones in here.
I'm looking for one of your little pretty ones, but like...
That's one of them. Here's some amethyst.
Which do you think would work better with this size, you know? This one we'd have to dig in. Both of these we're going to have to dig in. Yeah, this is the best one. So this is pretty much just a marble.
Kind of.
Yeah. So we're gonna try and dig a divot for that. Again, somebody who doesn't have a lot of experience doing this. Also somebody short. In the Dremel, but because I'm so short, I had to be up here, guys. Alright, so using the Dremel, which I've never used before, I have got this little hole that I, kind of curved in, put in there. We're going to take this kind of marble that, changes colors. I like that it's kind of cracked and such all over the place, so I think I'm going to keep that one sticking up. And then we're going to use some hot glue to keep it mounted in there, but it's going to look kind of nice right there. And then I'm just going to...
Other way.
Smooth up where the Dremel went off a little bit, and otherwise we're going to use some stain on this. I was going to put some carvings into it, some ruins, but I think instead I'm just going to do a little pattern on, you know, maybe the handle part here. So let's get me smoothing this out. Okay guys, so we've got our other wands. We've even done, you know, just our stick wand that we did for our Harry Potter thing. And this one is a pretty round dowel. So far I've used my carving knives. I have used the sander. I have used the Dremel for our stone. I could have made this really smooth, especially if I had my husband do it. But I didn't, because I want to feel, you know, the roughage and the uneven, and I just like it better that way. So, what I'm doing now, we're going to use the wood burner to make a little pattern around the base here, and a little bit higher up where we'd be holding it on top. After we use the wood burner, we are then going to put this honey pine stain on it. Now we could also do all sorts of, you know, ruins on it and such. I don't want to. I'm lazy. That, and I haven't gotten good enough yet to do things like putting ruins. Alright, I'm going to mention some safety stuff, guys. This is hot metal. As you can see, I work in chaos. But anytime you're going to use something that's hot, whether it's a hot glue gun or a wood burner, anything like that, please take safety precautions. This box is plastic, guys. If this is even next to this, not touching or anything, the heat from this will cause this to melt. And I hate to tell you this, guys, but things like paper towels with paint on them, or wood stain, rubbing alcohol, cleaning materials, any of these things can be very flammable. So make sure to clean as you go, but if at any time you are using something that uses a lot of heat, please make sure your area is clear so that you don't have an accident. Okay, I am going to try and do something a little bit weirder, because this is just too rounded enough to not really work with this. Alright, pretty much I've just done an S in it, because this is not even enough to work with this. So we're just going to turn this off. This was a failed experiment, but maybe I'll get better. I'll practice on some wooden stuff, because this one was a fail. Sorry guys, wasting the time there. So we'll move on to our next thing. The problem is once you get started doing stuff, you don't always remember where you put everything. I'm using just an old rag. I did not mix this up enough. So I'm kind of cheating and I'm using the wand to stir this. Kind of get it on the wand. Now this one has given it hardly any darkening at all. It's mostly just sealing it. One of these days I'll actually learn to wear gloves. Alright, I did not like how light this came out, so we're going to try a different color. Alright, since I didn't like how this came out so light, I'm actually going to use some of this. What color is this? Espresso. Liking this a little bit more. With already having the light on it, it's not going to come out as dark as it has on other things. Guys, a lot of these projects, a little goes a long way. When I was a kid, I always thought I had to use a lot of stuff. I don't. So, alright guys. So, we've done everything from super simple, sticking a little wire, to getting a little bit more progressive of what we're doing. And again, it's all about what you're going to use it for, what your comfort level is, and all that. You enjoyed that. Please check out our other videos already on YouTube and give us a like and subscribe. And if you hit that bell for notifications, you'll know when we put something new out. So try to make every day matter by finding the fun. You guys have a great one. Bye.